And God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 6. And God said that let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, in which the Spirit of God was sitting and moving, according to Genesis 1:2, part of which were formed into clouds and drawn up into heaven by the force of the body of fire and light already produced, and the other part left on earth, not yet gathered into one place, as afterwards. Between these, God ordered a firmament to be, or an expanse, something stretched out and spread like a curtain, tent, canopy. And to this all those passages of Scripture refer, which speak of the stretching out of the heavens, as this firmament or expanse is afterwards called. Psalms 104 and verse 2, and by it is meet the air, as it is rendered by the Targum, and Psalm chapter 19 verse 1. We call it the firmament from the word which the Greek interpreter uses, because it is firm, lasting, and durable, and it has the name of an expanse from its wide extent, it reaching from the earth to the third heaven. The lower and thicker parts of it form the atmosphere in which we breathe. The higher and thinner parts of it, the air in which flows flight, and the ether or sky in which the sun, moon, and stars are placed. For all these are said to be in the firmament or expanse, according to Genesis 1:17. These are the stories in the heaven. The scriptures speak of Amos chapter 9 verse 6. And the air is divided by philosophers into higher, middle, and lower regions. And so the Targum of Jonathan places this firmament or expanse between the extremities of the heaven and the waters of the ocean. The word in the Syriac language has the sense of binding and compressing, and so it is used in Syriac version of Luke chapter 6 and verse 38, and may denote the power of the air when formed in compressing the choice and dividing and separating the parts of it, and which it now has in compressing the earth and the several parts that are in it, and by its compression preserves them and retains them in their proper places, and left it to divide the waters from the waters under it from those above it, as it is explained in the next verse, of which more there. And version 7, chapter 1. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God made the firmament by a word speaking, commanding it into being, producing it out of the choice, and spreading it in that vast space between the heaven of heavens and our earth. and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. The lower part of it, the atmosphere above, which are the clouds full of water, from when rain descends upon the earth, and which divided between them and those that were left on the earth. And so under it, not it gathered into one place, as it now does between the clouds of heaven and the waters of the sea. Though Mr. Gregory is of opinion that an abyss of waters above the most supreme orb is here means, or a great deep between the heavens and the heaven of heavens, whereas in storehouses the depth is laid up, and God has his treasures of snow, hail, and rain, and from whence he brought out the waters which drowned the world at the universal delight. Others suppose the waters above to be the crystalline heaven, which for its cleanness resembles water, and which Milton calls the crystalline ocean. And it was so. The firmament was accordingly made and answered this purpose, to divide the waters below it from those above it. Or it was formed stable and durable, and so it has continued. And chapter 1, version 8. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God saw that it was good. And God called the firmament heaven, including the starry and airy heavens. It has its name from its height in the Arabic language, it being above the earth and reaching to the third heaven, though others take the word Shemaim to be a compound of two words, Shem and Maim. That is, there are waters, namely in the clouds of heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. These together made up the space of 24 hours, which was another natural day, the body of light created on the first day, having again moved round the Troas in the space of time. Or else the Troas had turned around on its own axis in the time, which revolution produced a second day, and which according to Kephalos was the 19th of April, and according to Bishop Ussher, the 24th of October. It is an observation that everyone may make, that the phrase, and God saw that it was good, is not used at the close of this day's work, as of the rest. The reason some Jewish writers give us, because the angels fell on this day, but it is a much better which Jerky gives, and that is because the work of the waters was not finished. It was begun on the second day and perfected on the third. And there the phrase is twice used in the account of the third day's work. The Septuagint version adds it here indeed, but without any foundation.